Oh, I can use my controller. Yes. Yes.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple.
I
He
guess
sat
that's
at
who
his
I am.
desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley...
Welcome, what the effing vagina. Nice to see you again.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, okay, I can move now. Cool. Alright, I got up from my desk and stepped out my office. Alright. No? Locked?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I guess I'm going to the meeting room. This way. Okay. Must be over here.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No. Alright, fine, I'll do it. Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passive-aggressively on the other. Oh, I wasn't done reading that. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header and throw some bobble on all the text. This will, okay. Everyone is unique. You most of all. Next. Alright. Oh, there it goes. Number of slides on this slide. Charts, slides, charts, and slides. Okay. Synergy core value. Reddit, which charts on the same slide depict the same information? What? Oh my god. Rate of increase in graphs per slide. Oh my god, please no more trust. Stop, stop, stop. Holy crap, what was that? The boss appreciation minute. Fill out the triplicate and return to your boss appreciation specialist. Solving interpersonal conflict. If you ever find yourself in a conflict with another diligent employee like yourself, but more inclined toward conflict unless you're the kind of person who indicates conflict. What? What are your dreams of the future? I can't read fast enough. This is all like craziness. Alright. Tips for not getting fired. Talk less. Do unbelievably amazing work all the time, every day, with no expectation of promotion or recognition. Don't get fired. Right, take it out passive-aggressively. Resent coworkers for not supporting you. Oh my god, this is weird as shit. Get Chris out of board target. What? Targets. Push for funding for R&D of new coffee machine. Standardize graphs 40x wide. Not cost efficient. Get Chris out of the broom closet. Hire someone to synergize papers. Papers are too synergized. Fire paper guy. Hire somebody to fire the paper synergizing guy. Who moved my desk? Please keep the targets on the topic of... And it's like erased. The future was yesterday, tomorrow's now. Tomorrow complete today's unfinished agenda items. Write next day's agenda and then reflect. Oh my god, this seems pretty crazy. Meeting room. Floor 400 and XX. Meeting schedule. Monday, weekly targets admin. Marketing Mondays. Wait, what? Oh. Huh. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager? What? This is just weird. Work harder, hard worker. A lot of percent. Space between the teenagers. Size of demographic, teenagers. Throw something in the ideas bin. Let's see. 1. No more bins. Trash cans. 2. Renaming of the idea bin. 3. Firing of me. 4. And something else in the idea bin once again. This is like the strangest office. Whoa, what the hell? Okay. What's up? Ooh, dessert. Thank you. I'm playing this game where it says that you will play as Stanley and you will not play as Stanley. You will follow a story, you will not follow a story. You will have a choice, you will have no choice. The game will end, the game will never end. That's the...
Stanley stepped into the broom closet,
more
but
narrating,
there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Okay. I see stuff in here. I want that broom.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
I wonder if I can make it talk more. Come on. Come on, narrator.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Come on. Can I duck? I can't jump.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing?
Yes,
Why?
I am.
Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
I like closets. God, stop talking to me, guy in my head. Jesus.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. It didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
Say more stuff.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path.
Yes.
Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
Yes. I hope they do too. Let's clear this chat.
Stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. What? That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
What?
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead.
I am.
You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard.
That's exactly what happened.
Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. He or she has fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place at the computer, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful of this game is not lost on them.
You missed it a second ago.
Just step out into the hallway.
You missed it a second ago. Like, I just stood here and the narrator just started talking all crazy, and he even called me a drug addict and stuff like that. I was like, what?
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
Alright. Yes, I can.
You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
I think he's probably done talking. Alright. Next.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No. I walked downstairs to the exit. Ooh, it's red. What's this place?
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
Oh.
He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Hey, what the hell?
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer.
I don't know what's going on.
His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons.
1, 2,
I may
3,
as well
4.
enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
What the hell?
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared.
What?
It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream.
Here I am.
How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is
what is this guy talking about?
As he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Nope.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Ah. What the hell, man?
Story of a woman named Mariella.
What? Is this the game restarted?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
What the hell? Oh my fuck. What?